When we were growing up, you made a plan. You said, right, I'll meet you at the pub at 7. Showed up on time, no further discussion.
And you'd show up on time because you'd be scared that you'd get left if you had a meeting point.
Exactly.
You can't get in touch with anyone.
We had a small group of close mates and we stuck with them for life. Hence,
Yeah.
these guys know 500 people online, but they still feel lonely.
My mum used to actually come and find me. She used to run down the end of the road, back then she'd drive, with all of my brothers and sisters shouting my name. Hi, I'm Lisa Nash.
And I'm Melanie Cameron.
And welcome to Did We Stutter?
An original podcast brought to you by the London Podcast Studios.
Where we're going to be bringing you all types of pop culture, society and all the dilemmas.
So join us every week for real conversations, real dilemmas and relatable stories.
So I'm actually loving our topic today. It's all about the Gen Wars, the different generations. And I mean, there's loads. There's from the baby boomers right up until the alpha kind of generation now. So just talking about all the wars and who actually has it easier or who's had it tougher. And we've got some great stuff that we're going to discuss today.
It's funny because I was watching this on TikTok because clearly that's how I spend most of my life scrolling. But it was the Millennials and the Gen Zs going, a Gen X all right? And then you get the Gen Xers going, are we all right? Yeah, we're fine, actually. We were raised feral. And it just got me thinking about the difference in the generations. When we were growing up, it was our parents were just tougher, weren't they? Like
they were tougher, but I think that's good because you look at, I think, the generations now, there is a lot of cuddling. Is that the right word? Yeah. And rapping in
Molly coddling. What did you use?
Whatever
Molly
Mel just
cuddling.
said.
That's a Lisaism.
I've
been really molly cuddled today.
But your parents used to say, like, we used to go out, just be home before it's dark. Yeah. And now it's like, I don't know, they put a tracker in your phone or something. But you know what I mean? Or, my mum used to actually come and find me. I think this is quite a legendary story where we live. So we used to live on this main road and there was a BP garage. All the people from Essex, like the kind of Redbridge area, you know about the BP garage or 7-Eleven, we used to hang out down there. And the mum would just be home before it got dark. I'm one of 5 kids. So it's got dark. And if I wasn't at home, because I was always the naughty one, she used to run down the end of the road, back then she'd drive, with all of my brothers and sisters shouting my name. And everyone used to go, Lisa's mum's coming.
Oh my God, that fills me. That's just reminded me. Oh, core memory unlocked. I remember having an argument with my mum because I wanted to go over the park and she said I had to be home by a certain time and I was like, oh, why have I got, nobody else has to come home at that time. Why have I got to be home? And she went, oh, do what you like, which is, I took that as
literal.
You said it. I'll do what I like. Until I was sitting up the top of the slide, probably with a boy, and I saw at the corner of my eye my mum walking through the park with the dog, and I thought, oh my God. And I actually, Melanie Cameron, and I went, oh no, go.
I know, but it's true.
The fear.
And the thing is, before, I mean, like with my
I've just given my full government name out there, by the way.
I didn't think that. I didn't even. Oh, no, I do know your middle name. But I used to think, like, when my daughter, like, it just made me cry, so that was quite funny. My daughter, whenever she used to come home late, I'd be calling her phone. She'd blank my phone. Yeah. My phone calls constantly. But back then, your mum couldn't get hold of you, so it was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that was when we used to use the old, I'm staying at Lisa's house, and then you'd go, I'm staying at Mel's house, and you just hope that no one's mum rang the other person's mum.
My daughter, whenever she used to come home late, I'd be calling her phone. She'd blank my phone. Yeah. My phone calls constantly. But back then, your mum couldn't get hold of you, so it was just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that was when we used to use the old, I'm staying at Lisa's house, and then you'd go, I'm staying at Mel's house, and you just hope that no one's mum rang the other person's mum. That brings me to the differences in the parenting. So what I'm going to do is give some examples of what it was like being a Gen Xer versus the Millennials and the Gen Zs.
Brilliant. Go on. So far away.
Our parents used to say, like you said, just be home before it gets dark. Now, I've put a GPS tracker on their phone and I check the baby monitor every 5 minutes. Yeah. I walked to school on my own from year 3. Them, mum and dad walked me to school and then they track my route via Find My iPhone.
It's so true though. Or do you know what? It's that I remember saying to my daughter, like, where are you? I'll come and pick you up. Mum, I'll just drop you a pin.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? You know? I'd say, my mum would say, where are you? I'll come and meet you. Not sure, in the middle of a field.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what bus I got to get, that kind of thing.
Discipline and behaviour. This is one of my favourites. You're grounded. No telly for a week. These days, I understand you have big feelings. Now let's talk about making better choices.
Or you say you're grounded and you'd wait till mum and dad went to bed, or they'd have a couple of cigarettes and a bottle of whatever, and then you sneak out the window.
Do you know, my sister once, this was bad. We were both grounded, probably for fighting each other. And we lived on a second floor in the flat. And I went into the bedroom and she was tying sheets together.
Yeah.
And I went, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm going out the window.
Yeah.
And I went, don't be ridiculous, you'll fall and break your neck. And she was like, I'm going out the window. Well, you better help me then. I said, I'm not helping you. I'm already grounded, like goody two shoes. I'm already grounded. She's like, well, if you don't help me and I fall to my death, then that's on you. And I was like, so there I was, helping her climb out of a window because I was scared she was so. And then once she bunked school and she had to take some sort of slip into school that day, so she could you just take it in for me so it doesn't flag up that I'm not there. I took it in and then it was, I don't even know why she did this. It was parents' evening that night. So the teacher went to my mum. Well, she was absent today. My mum went, was she? I got grounded longer because I covered for her. My mum said to me, you should know better. What?
And yeah. I just remember as
Why
well.
I got so high pitched then.
I know. My mum used to so I used to go out clubbing, as we all know, to present a music show called Clubvision. But basically, I used to write in my diary everything, thinking my mum's not going to go in my room. She read the diary, never told me for about 2 years, knew everything I was up to. And obviously back in the day, it was, the kind of generation of acid house and going out partying. So I was going to say she Googled, but there wasn't Google back then, was there?
She probably got an encyclopedia out.
I think she actually spoke to other parents or whatever. So I used to come in all hours in the morning and there'd be like pints of water because she thought I'd be dehydrated.
Oh, bless her.
And then she'd be peering in the window, just things like that. It does make me laugh.
There's another one that I love is our parents used to say, go watch Blue Peter or see BBC until I call you.
Yeah.
And now the parents are like,
Can
no
you
more
get off
than
the
30
iPad?
minutes screen time. Our parents, like the TV was the babysitter in my house. Oh, and the technology. So we used to have to use landlines with, do you remember the curly?
Oh yeah. Or do you know what's more annoying? We used to have to actually do that, and then if you mess up, got one digit wrong, so you'd have to hang up and do the whole thing again.
So it was the old-fashioned phones where you used to actually have to dial it.
Yeah.
Because there would be a lot of people that don't even know what they are.
Yeah.
So if somebody was on the phone in your house, you just had to wait. You couldn't get any privacy.
Or you'd listen in. Remember, I was the only girl, right? And I had like 3 brothers. And anytime I was always the one that was on the phone and obviously the most popular, so most friends.
Ovo.
Yeah. No, not true at all. But they'd all hang up and they were like, I had 2 younger brothers. They'd find it hilarious, some of the conversations. And then all you'd hear was like, get off the phone. Do you remember that? Yeah. Oh, Mum.
Tape songs off the radio and hope the DJ wouldn't talk over the intro.
Yeah. Do you know what I used to do? I used to have the whole family watching Top of the Pops. Everyone had to be quiet.
Yeah.
Silence. While as soon as you come in, press record.
Record. Now, these guys will complain that Spotify doesn't have a song instantly available. Yeah. We had to go to Woolworths or Our Price or HMV and we used to have to purchase a 7-inch single.
Yeah.
My
first ever album was NWA, which is quite unbelievable. And then the other one was, I think I had the single, which was Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You.
Do you know what my first...
And
this is bad.
Go on.
My first single was Tottenham. Do you remember?
Was it?
Tottenham.
Was it really?
No one can stop. But yeah, that was my first single.
I think I got mine, and I don't think my mum realised the impact of NWA on me. I think she got it free on the front cover of a magazine. I was like, I'm really into music. It comes free. And then I used to play it really loud. She was like, what have I just got my daughter into? Thanks, Mum.
Oh, this is a classic. Walkmans and Discmans.
Oh, so I love mine.
The Walkman was a cassette that you used to put a whole cassette in and you used to plug your little earphones. They used to have little orange foam pieces and then
Bit like this.
Yeah. And then we upgraded to Discmans, which was the size of a whole CD.
Yeah, a whole CD, yeah. And then if you jumped, it kind of, or if you moved too
This
hard.
is what we were talking about here. It had no sort of, it said it had anti-skip technology, but that never worked.
No, or anti-shock.
Yeah. And now these guys will complain if their AirPods die within 6 hours.
And they haven't got over like 50 million songs on one kind of device.
Yeah.
You'd be lucky if you got one. Really?
We used to pass handwritten notes in class.
Yeah.
These guys use Snapchat.
Yeah.
We bought everything in person, or, this is my favourite, via mail order catalogues.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, do you remember?
My mum,
Like Littlewoods.
God rest her soul, my mum, when she didn't have a lot, we always, for Christmas and birthdays, she always made sure we never went without. So everything was ordered out the catalogue.
Oh, me too.
Everything was ordered out the catalogue, and she used to give us the catalogue with a pen and say, circle all the things off that you want.
Or Argos catalogue, always, yeah. Littlewoods, she used to find out.
God bless her, she used to be paying it off till the next year. God love her.
That's mad, isn't it?
I know.
How the generations like, of how back then. But the thing is, we're talking about the younger generation now. Everything is
instant.
I'm not going to say badly about this, but you think like you look at some of the cars and the houses, they're not paid for. Everyone's in a lot more debt. Whereas back, I think years ago, I don't know what. This is the thing. What we want to ask you guys actually. Who does it better, and what's the pros and the cons about all of this? Because back in the day, it was like, get a job, stay in it for 40 years, that kind of security. But nowadays, if you stay in a job for longer than, I don't know, a few years, it's looked at as you've got no kind of career ambition.
You've got no drive, you're stagnant.
You've got no drive, got to move on, got to be kind of the influencer or whatever's going out there. And also, people put everything on credit.
This is so true.
And then wipe it off.
My nan used to be of the opinion of, if you can't afford it, don't get it. You can't have it. And now people are being actively encouraged to use credit because it's better for your
credit
rating.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get a mortgage, you're going to have to get into debt. It's
but
wild.
How many people do you speak to that actually have got into debt over credit? And that's the thing.
Oh, like, I've done it.
Yeah.
And not because I was overspending, because just on frivolous things.
You just went to Ibiza too much in 1 year. Didn't want to miss out.
I mean, I don't think Ibiza's frivolous.
Bloody expensive though, isn't it?
No, I think sometimes, like, if you're trying to, and we'll get onto this again in another episode, but if you're trying to bridge a gap, sometimes people are just putting things like shopping on credit cards, bills on credit cards, because things are tough.
But it's the cost of living. It's really expensive, isn't it?
And it's just different generations, the way that they deal with it. Like, back in the days, like, you just made it work. You had to, you stretched it. There was no credit like that. There wasn't, like, credit cards weren't readily available. They were for rich people.
But talking about, like, back in the day, it's like affordable homes, but high inflation. The millennials are drowning in student loans. I mean, it's difficult. So I never went to uni. I don't think you did either.
No.
And then you got the Gen, I was going to say V then. You'd love that. Gen Z.
She's just made her own generation up completely.
Like, But the Gen Z, they kind of like, they talk about like manifesting it through like, don't worry, it's going to come. Whereas before you'd have to get out your bed and actually go to work. But,
listen, don't knock a bit of manifestation.
No, we love that.
I love it. This is one of my favourite subjects, right? Is friendships, the difference in the generation. So when we were growing up, you made a plan. You said, right, I'll meet you at the pub at 7. We agreed over landline. We all called each other. We showed up on time. No further discussion. And
you'd show up on time because you'd be scared that you'd get left if you had a meeting point.
Exactly.
You can't get in touch with anyone.
Yeah, exactly. There was no one. You couldn't call anyone.
Now it's like, be there when I'm there.
Now it's, let's make a WhatsApp group, discuss for 5 days, and then cancel last minute because of overwhelming anxiety.
How many times that happened? That's so true. But we're guilty of that as well, I think.
Really guilty of that.
And I think it's not just the younger generation, it's the way of life, really, isn't it?
It moves, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because years ago, we would go out clubbing, we would stay out clubbing until there was nowhere left to go, and then we'd find an after party and whatever. You know, these guys nowadays, they're going out for one drink, take some selfies, and then be home by 10 o'clock watching Netflix in pyjamas. Like, 10 a.m. was like an early one for us.
Well, I just remember I used to go to Camden Palais. That won't really posh.
She went to Camden Palais during the war.
What happened there? I used to go to Camden Palais, which was not posh.
Hold on. Meat and two veg. Camden Palais.
So
we just went from like Frank Butcher to the Queen.
basically, Cece goes,
Now do meat and 2 veg in that.
so basically, he's going to Camden Ballet on a Friday, raving, and then just have such a good time. I used to get. I can't remember how I used to get home, but anyway, most of the time I used to work in Valentine's Park in Ilford, in the cafe she's still laughing. And I used to love it. But anyway, so the guy that owned the cafeteria, he sacked me 7 times, kept re-employing me, because I used to always turn up on time because I'd be waiting outside, still from the... I'm waiting to come in to work. And then, like, as the day went on, I used to get really tired. And I remember, like, just doing the ice creams. It's like he used to find me asleep in the toilet. But I think I must have been still smashed because it was all the actually what a real tear though. All the punters used to come and go. Like if I wasn't there when he'd sacked me once at a time, and they'd be like, "Where's Lisa?" And they loved it because I used to tell them stories on me chatting away. Thinking I was still smashed. But he had to keep re-employing me. And then I bumped into him years later at this gym when I was doing all the personal training. He come in, he was telling one of the other trainers who was actually training him. He said, like, I used to love Lisa, but I did have to sack her 7 times.
That's brilliant.
Moral of the story is, my personality carried me through.
No, and we used to soldier it. We just used to
Honestly.
I used to work at a casting suite in Soho.
I remember.
And remember the green room?
Yeah.
And I remember a few times going out and having to go straight to work, and I would ring a pal and go, "Can you do me a favour?
Some knickers and some...
Can you bring me some clean underwear, a toothbrush and some deodorant, please?" You'd have to just soldier it. You couldn't ring in sick. Like, you couldn't do...
you know what?
There were no mental health days in those days.
No, that's the thing, isn't it? I don't even think I could actually go to bed after like 2 or 3 o'clock and actually go to work, let alone stay out all night now.
Listen, if I have a bottle of wine and I have to work the next day...
You want another?
I'm thinking, we'll finish up here, Lisa. Have a quick little drink on the way home.
Yeah.
I literally, even if I'm working from home the next day, I think, oh, I probably shouldn't. I'll feel that in the morning.
Yeah.
What's that about?
I know.
We used to go
it's
out.
crazy, isn't it?
This is another one I love.
Yeah, go on.
We used to take pictures on disposable cameras and we'd used to have to wait a week to develop them. And when you'd get them, you'd be going to Boots to get them and they'd be like fuzzy or
you'd have like a finger or a hand in front of it and you'd be so annoyed.
So gutted.
It'd be like 24 pictures on a disposable and they all come out rubbish because obviously they've got no filters, there are no zoom-ins now. It was just like... Just aim and hope for the best.
Because you couldn't really see anything. Oh, I love that.
I've got so many kind of like pictures at home that I look at now and I just think, oh, I'd love to watch that or look at them and that were in good quality.
I agree. There's probably that for that.
Yeah, I'm sure there is somewhere.
We had a small group of close mates and we stuck with them for life. Hence,
yeah.
These guys know 500 people online, but they still feel lonely.
Yeah. Isn't that for that? I can help you. But do you know what? This is the other thing. I always think, like, you know, when talking about how the younger generation, they moan about being skint and stuff. But we were talking about this earlier. These are guilty here, but they're still going to Starbucks and have their oat milk coffee.
You've got a latte.
Yeah, pay a premium for. But I think a lot of them. Do you know what the I think the younger generation that are getting in debt for as well. Obviously, you've got the student loans. You know, they want to look good on the internet, which
flossing for the gram.
Yeah, but also the subscriptions. Who signed up to an app and then forgot to kind of cancel it? I've got loads of people.
Me too.
And I think you think about some of these younger people that their subscriptions are for the filters or for like AI or for making things better. There's a subscription out there for everyone and people kind of buying into that. Let's go to our beef of the week.
Oh.
Now, we've already had this conversation and this kind of dilemma as we were coming to the London podcast studios today. And what really annoys, it's Mel's annoying. Go on, I'm going to let you say it.
It grinds my gears.
It really does.
People that walk really slowly or dawdle, love that word, dawdle, in a busy street.
So the question is, what do you do? I know what you do.
Well, you watched me do it earlier on.
She breathes really heavy. It's like, if I breathe really heavy, make some really weird sounds, then they actually might speed up.
So it's like, if I'm working Soho a lot and Carnaby Street, I have to walk up and down that every day. And I know people are tourists and they're doing their thing.
Yeah.
But it's that, when people are gormlessly in the middle, like, just move to the side. Like, there's one speed in London, fast.
Yeah.
That's it. Or move to the side. And like earlier on, that guy was just stood in front and then he went, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm behind him going,
I was going to say, the thing is, though, it'd be quite nice if people did kind of slow down a little bit. But unfortunately, the pace in London is fast.
Yeah.
But I do think if someone feels you, like if I felt someone behind me that wants to get past and I'm in actually a slow kind of walking, I'd move out the way.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't just kind of carry on, just like,
I do that British thing where I tut really loudly.
Yeah. And breathe really heavy. Yeah,
but that's my beef for the week. So,
or kind of push up, kind of against them, or kind of say,
no, that's a whole other story. That's an arrestable offence, yeah. Lisa.
I keep wondering why I get weird looks when I'm out.
So that's my beef for the week. So if you see me walking down the street, guys,
stay out the way of Mel, basically.
Stay out the way. I'm power walking. I've got places to be, people to see, things to do.
Yeah, especially in Soho. Right.
Yes, my work often takes me to Soho.
But you're going to fall behind.
But also, just before we wrap kind of up on this stuff, like, it's just, one of my nieces is really, really picky, like food wise. Like she eats chicken, she likes a lot of salad, and she'll eat steak. So my sister,
my favourite things.
But my sister, who's like a mother of 5, is going out and buying steaks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when I was growing up, steak was my birthday treat. That was my birthday meal. Like every birthday, my mum would do a prawn cocktail for a starter, and then I would get a steak, and it was a treat. That's not a treat. A takeaway was a big thing in my house.
I don't think we ever had takeaways, actually.
Are like, oh, can't we just get a takeaway? Can't we just get... I remember my nephew once saying to my sister, and she said, I just haven't got the money. And he went, well, just go to that machine where you put it and it gives you money.
It's so true, though. But this is the whole thing, guys. We want to find out from you. Just let us know who had it harder. Who do you think's had it hard?
Yeah, we love hearing from you guys. So if you've got any thoughts on what we've talked about today, please do let us know.
And for future subjects, actually, we've got some great cool clues coming your way. But any other future subjects that you'd like us to discuss?
I'm off to take Lisa for some meat and 2 veg.